Reflect includes an interactive test editor to make it easy to add and change steps within an existing test. Here I've created a test of the project management tool Linear, and you can see that this test is failing on step 15. If we look at the test details of step 15 here, we can see exactly why it's failing. The text is invalid. We can see that warning message here. And the expected text is different from the actual text. Essentially what's going on is I've set this test up to add a random issue name every time, but when it clicks on the link, it's expecting it to be a static issue name. So if we look at the video here, what I actually want to do is I just want to click on the view issue link instead, which is never going to change. And so to do that, I need to go and re-record that portion of the test. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight between steps 15 and 16 because that's basically going to get me to the point where I can verify this is working, and click on re-record. So we'll go and click on that. And now what's going to happen is Reflect is going to run through the test again and stop at that point. And if there's any issue that it hits before getting to that point, it's actually going to pause at that section of the test and allow me to fix up anything. So what we'll see here is that it's going to actually fail between step 14 and 15 like it did in the previous run and let me fix up the issue there. So here it's retrying, and after it retries a couple times, it's going to tell me that an issue occurred and give me some options. So some options here in this particular case is I can enable recording and maybe click on something else. I could delete this step, I could skip it and continue on. What I want to do here is actually enable recording. But you can see that that toast message that was on the bottom right is gone now. So actually I can't, even if I wanted to, re-record that step. But luckily what I can do here is execute the same steps again, or a portion of the test again, just by clicking and dragging this pointer to a point earlier in the test. So here what I'm going to do is I'm going to have it click through and create a new issue again, and then I'm going to click on the view issue button. So let's go ahead and resume after I've moved the pointer. We can see here it's going to run through those same steps, and now I'm going to click on view issue. All right, so now that I've done that, I have this view issue link, which seems to be working fine. And now I can actually delete some steps. So I can delete this click because I've already clicked on view issue, and I can click delete this visit because we already have a visit for this particular page. So I'll delete those steps here. And then let's resume to make sure that everything is working fine. So it took me to that next point, which is where I originally said to stop the test. And now I'm going to click resume again, and we'll see if there's any issues here. So here it looks like there's another issue, and it looks to be the same issue where it says test issue is displayed, but it actually should be test issue 3775290. So again, what I could do is I could enable recording and add a visual validation or text validation in this case for this step. And here what I actually want to do, and I could have done this in the existing step, is actually highlight the whole thing and say that this should match the test issue that I created earlier. So let's go over to the test issue that I've created. We'll assign this randomly generated value to a variable. So we'll call this random issue name. And then what we'll do here is go to the test issue, this one rather, and we'll highlight this and say match existing variable, which is our random issue name. All right, so that should be good. And then we'll go ahead and delete the duplicate value, and test description should be good because I didn't make that random. All right, so now that we've made that change, we probably want to again validate that everything is working. So let's go ahead and move the pointer all the way back here again. And now that we've fixed everything up, let's see if everything is working correctly. One other thing that I need to do is notice that we're on a different page now. So I actually need to get back to the previous page, but I don't want to record that change and add it to the test. So what I'm going to do is just turn off recording temporarily, click the back button to get me back to the previous page, and then start recording again. So let's resume and see what happens. All right, so it should click the view issue link and then observe that everything is working. We'll click resume and we can validate now that everything is looking correct. So this is a very easy way for you to make large scale changes. You can go in and out of tests, add breakpoints wherever you want, and validate things by moving the execution pointer. Thanks for watching and happy testing.